They say hunting and fishing can be dated back more than 2 million years. Throughout the years, the historic angler and hunter has steadily evolved into the avid hunter and angler that we know and love today. Welcome to the Outdoor Defiance podcast. As you listen, you will hear comical stories, companies talking about their products, researchers talking about their research, and overall ways to help you become a better outdoorsman. Welcome to today's episode.
All right, guys. I know long time no see. Welcome back to another episode. Sorry we took a little break. We had a lot going in our life. Gunnar was remodeling the house to move into. I was getting stuff ready for baby. Deer hunting was here. So something gave, and it was a podcast side. We're happy to announce we're coming back strong. We got a bunch of people lined up already, and we are super excited. So a bunch of videos coming your guys' way. So that's great. A bunch of harvest videos. So that's a pretty cool deal. We're glad to get that back. Glad to get this back. Glad to be back. I feel like I haven't talked to Gunnar in forever. Podcast is like a way to hang out for a little bit in our crazy lives. But so I'm excited. You excited?
Me, yeah, of course. I didn't know if we were doing like the Dora Explorer type thing.
Yeah.
Like, are you excited?
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I am excited. Yeah, to get back into doing this. This is kind of how we stay connected sometimes.
Yeah.
Too. So we're just busy doing the hunting. We text each other throughout, and we're in the stand all the time. But like actually talking face to face. This is kind of how we stay connected in a way at times. So
that's what I was telling Justice. I was like, man, I feel like I haven't even seen him in so long because we haven't podcast. So new scenery for you. Congrats on that.
Yeah, don't look too close. You're gonna see some spots that don't look perfect. I did not texture. Yeah, I'm not that talented. But I did paint. I did a lot of stuff, but not texture.
Well, you guys don't know that is Gunnar's G-Paw's house. They remodeled it and moved in. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. I haven't seen it yet. We're supposed to go a couple weekends ago. Didn't happen. I'll be there eventually. Yep. We got a couple months coming up of duck season, so we'll probably go chase some ducks when I can sneak away, and I'll get to finally see it. So we both got a bunch show and tell items. So I got a couple mounts to show you, and you got a couple to show me. I got a couple to bring to you. Yep. So yeah, it's been a while. So but we're back. That's the most important thing. So kind of want to catch up everything. I mean, heck, we started season. When was your New Mexico trip? Was that September?
Yeah.
Early though, right?
It was late. You went to Kansas.
Okay, I went to Kansas. There. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have September. We haven't talked about. We had pretty darn good October here in Oklahoma, and then we rolled it over in November. I know we're middle of it, but I mean in 2 weeks I'm just gonna call it. Something's gonna happen. It's either gonna be Gunnar or someone else in our team. I mean, across the board, we've been rolling this year. Everyone you guys seen as our team members have had a phenomenal year. I mean, I'm trying. Jamie's killed a crap ton of ducks. He's having a baby. Tristan, he made a professional level. He made it to the elites, so he's guaranteed we can say we know a professional angler.
Yep.
The Rust Bros, I mean, you can't even get started talking about them. They moose, the bighorn ewe, multiple elk, multiple big mule deer. They have a whitetail tag in Kansas coming up. You have 3 tags coming up. I filled mine. So I mean, Kyle, he hasn't been out much. No, I'm kidding. He killed his first mule deer.
That was his first one ever.
Yep. With his bow. Cool. With his dad. So I didn't get to go on that trip. Little baby Millie kind of held me back from that one, which I'm happy. But next year I'll be back again. I mean, I'm just trying to, like, a lot of stuff is like honestly happened. So we've missed out on, or not really missed out. We just haven't been able to get on and talk about it. So that's kind of what we're going to do today's episode. It's going to be us. I feel like I left someone out. Steve's rolling. Steve,
Yeah.
Steve got a traditional kill.
Mhm.
I mean, heck, McAllister hunts. You guys had a good time there.
Yeah.
Man, what else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing one other small detail.
Abby hasn't done nothing.
My film guy Dylan got his first archery buck. So my brother-in-law.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Trying to think, man. I feel like there's like
I don't know. There was a moose shot.
huh?
The moose.
Yeah, with the moose.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's one other thing that happened that I'm just like, oh, we've got a bunch of updated equipment. So I mean the year's been unreal. Like we've been blessed this year. I mean, that's what it all boils down to. Like the last time I remember a year like this was the year you shot your deer. That you shot they bite. Because I mean, I entered one, then you shot it, then I shoot one, then Tanner shoots one, and then you shoot one. And it's like the Rust Bros were having a crazy year. Kyle, I think, shot 1 or 2 that year. Tristan had one down in Tennessee. I mean, it was this. I didn't really know Jamie then. So,
I don't know what the heck that hooligan was doing.
yeah.
He
Probably
could have been doing
was
anything.
eating his booger still. We just broke him with that one.
He's excited to come back to Oklahoma for my wedding. He's really excited for that.
I wish he'd come back down and give us another chance on the duck hunting.
He is one day. He's excited about that. He knows. I've sent him pictures. The
Yeah.
week after he left, dude, we killed what we
Yeah, we
do, like
massacred him.
10 man, a 12 man, and then like another like 8 man in like a week. We were just like, sorry, Jamie.
And then we need to go. We've talked about it, but we just need to settle up and go and do it. Ice fishing.
Oh, it's a blast. And then just going up there in general to fish is a blast. Catch those pike.
Yeah, I
Ice
want to
fish.
go up there in the spring with you guys, or
We're going this year.
let me
We're
know.
going at
Text
the
me
end
the
of
date.
May.
May.
End of May. I think that's when we're
Maybe
going.
Justice can. What would it be?
There's motels down there.
6 months. I mean, surely by then
There's
we'll have it rolling.
Baby's first road trip, dog.
Yeah.
There's
Here's
little
a
motels. Yeah.
It took you 6 months. Me, 30 years.
Just bring her along. There's motel. Just put her on the
Hey.
back, on your back.
Hey, there's no issue about that. I already have the pouch. I need to get the backpack. We're in full dad mode, dude. It's 11 days. It's ticking. By the time this is out, it might be here. This might be the last episode we have that I'm not a full-time dad. Wow.
Yeah.
Growing up, getting older. So, well, let's take it back all the way to September and act like we don't know what happened in the other months and talk about our September. I mean, I don't care how far back. I mean, really, we did food plots. Nothing crazy big or nothing new there. Cameras. I didn't get my first deer picture until October. Maybe right there at the end of September I had one. I don't remember. So nothing big here in Oklahoma. But Kansas went up there. I'll start that off since that was the first kind of trip for us for the year. Went up to Kansas, had a heck of a trip. I mean, I was on some big deer. Finally saw the class and the quantity and quality by far that I wanted. I'm not going to say the place where we went to didn't have them, but I am going to say that I think after watching some stuff and talking to people, I might have 100% been hunting the deer wrong out in western Kansas. I think I should have probably been watching the Milo a little harder, but where we were, a lot of the Milo was on private. So, but I've talked to multiple people and they're like, dude, you didn't go. And I'm like, we watched 2 fields and it was so windy, you couldn't pick it apart.
You talking about last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then you guys went after and saw deer, yes, but quantity.
It's tough time. We should have went the next week. Now, every day it got better.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying quantity of deer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't very high. I mean, I say that. We saw deer about every day. But
well, so did we, but a good day was 3 or 4 deer.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where we were. Yep.
And then I rolled down here and I was seeing a dozen of deer hunt, and it's like, this is in my eyes 4 times better, And then I was, and I was seeing rubs, scrapes everything everywhere. Just I don't know. I'm gonna say the two counties I was in or around um, historically are some of the best two counties in the state, based off what I found. So, a lot of things I read, and so I'm gonna say I will be back. I'm gonna go back. I did have. Oh, I didn't even get to go into that. Um, Found deer. In my videos out. More than welcome to watch it. If you don't watch it, you're weird and a loser. But if you do watch it, you're pretty cool. So I'll leave that
I
out
watched it.
there. But no, found a couple of really big deer. If I would have had one spotter with me, I think I could have killed 140 plus inch deer. I know I could have. I just the way I had to go around and come in the mile section walking. By the time I got there, I couldn't get on them. So,
Sorry.
oh no, that's no one's fault. I mean, I didn't.
Next year, I'm good to go because I'm in my job a little bit longer. I'm good to go next year. But
Well, I think I'll get to that in a second. But then I made a move to get closer to home. Had some things happen. I needed to get home. Made a move. Got a little key intel on a spot. That spot was absolute money. I mean, I was seeing bucks every hunt. I only got to hunt there, 3 or 4 hunts. And I saw like 5 or 6 bucks almost every time. Scrapes and rubs. I mean, the rubs. In the video, I was like, there's 16 on the field. And every time I drove in, there was more. So, like, phenomenal hunting. Had a big one walk in on me on the same trail that I walked down that there was no deer print on. He winded me, ran right beside me out in the field, wouldn't stop, hit the timber, 200 yards out. I mean, right past his ears, this beautiful 10, and disappeared.
out of your life.
Yeah, forever. And then the night before, because that was the next morning, the night before I had 4 deer come out, try to make a move. There was a super wide one. Don't know how big he was, but I knew he's wide. Didn't make it work on him. Try to make a move on him. Too dark. Blah blah blah. That didn't work. That morning, I saw that one came running by me, and then my wind was supposed to be hitting my face, and then all of a sudden, I felt it hit my neck. The doe's out in there, started blowing. I knew I had 1 or 2 good more hunts in there, so I got out. Went there. Was that evening? Yeah, I went to town, met some friends there. I forget the hunting place there. But shout out to them. The dad, or there's 3 brothers and a dad. One brother owns that shop, and then his dad runs it part time, like in there, just because he's retired. And the other 2 brothers have a restaurant in the town. So I was like, hey, is there a good place to eat, get a drink, watch football? Because it's Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday NFL, and he's like, yeah, to go. My 2 boys own this. One runs the back, one runs the front. And I go there immediately, find this kid there. It's his son. Like, he was like, yeah, I expected it. I literally walked in. He's like, Taylor? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, my dad called and said you'd be here. And I was, and there's like a crowd full of people. And it was kind of funny because I forgot who was KC playing. But I forget where I was, right? So KC fans everywhere. Was it KC playing or the Bills? I don't remember exactly who was playing, but it was either KC playing and they were cheering. I don't think it was them. I think it was the Bills because they were wanting them to lose. And I was like, Josh Allen, or I need Cook to score these points because he's on my fantasy teams, and they're like staring at me, and I'm like, and then like something, I'm like, who do y'all cheer for here? Joking with them, and they're like KC, and I said, why would you pick them out of everyone? I said, it's not even Kansas City Chiefs. I was like, it's the Kansas City Swifties now, and they were like, "Oh, you be quiet." And then I started laughing. I was like, "Guys, I'm just joking," And then, but so I met friends there. That was fun. Then went out that evening. That was the only time I had anyone even pull up on that spot. And of course, I'm getting dressed, middle of the road, like putting my orange on. Like you saw me.
Yeah.
Guy comes around that T intersection, sees me, hits the ditch, jumps out, grabs a bow, and runs in to where I was going. I was like, okay, dude, you win. And I was like, you win that spot, but you don't win tonight. And so it was a little later than normal because I hadn't seen anyone out there. So I didn't really, feel like pressure to get in there. So I pull up my map. Well, there was like this perfect J hook that you could take to stay out of the wind and then dive right down the middle of the timber. And the wind was hitting me and blowing. It was like a big, almost like an ice cream cone, like a waffle cone. Why? Sorry, my camera or my arms are way out of the screen. And the deer were in the timber heavy, and then they would come out, funnel out through the timber. They wouldn't. From what I saw, the 3 hunts, they didn't go through that Y or the big V, I guess. And so I was like, oh heck, I'll put the old J hook on them. Cody, thanks for that. And backdoor them, and my wind will blow towards that. No, wait. Yeah, I guess my wind was. No, my wind was blowing towards that guy. So what did? Okay, that's right, because that V made it where once I got to it, my wind would blow towards where that guy was, and I was like, well, if worse comes to worse, maybe kind of deter the deer from him because what he did to me, right? And so I looked, and it was like a mile and a half, and I was like, oh, that's a breeze, I'm still thick, but I can walk that. Dude, I don't even know if I've even told you this. Did I tell you what the grass was like when I got back there?
No.
Dude, it was over my head. And then nothing but like vines and stuff at my feet. So like you'd pick up your foot and it'd trip you every step. And like I was like halfway through it, and I was like, I just looked and I was just drenched in sweat. My bag was drenched, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to heat stroke out here. There was a bunch of wind, but you're like tucked in that wind, like your thermal and like everything is on beat on you. Dude, when I got out of that, I was like, Lord, thank you for letting me get out of that. Like, I didn't have a heat stroke, but I got there, still had a couple hours of light. Got had the $3 or $2 the night before come out. The wide one didn't come out with them yet, and I had one shot on the field. I was like, man, if the deer walks through that, I'm going to shoot him. If he makes me excited. That 8-point comes out, boom, drops, and I didn't really realize how close I got to the guy. I didn't put in the video because I felt bad, but I probably shot that buck. He was probably 150 yards from that guy. So that guy was like overlooking him, and I was like, man, I didn't expect to get that close to him. All right, and I didn't see where he went, and like I said, it was really cool setup on my end. But for a bow, where he had a bow, I don't know if I said that, had a muzzleloader. He was expecting him to like catty corner this field to him, like 200 yards versus where they've all been going. So it didn't make sense why he was there with the bow. Anyways, long story short, I shot that deer, went out there, was all excited. I look in the field behind me that I could see too, and there's just this 10-point, and he was right at his ears, but he came in like this and almost touched. He was back there grazing, just watching me. And I was like, dude, you better be happy I'm not a dirtbag. And then I'm dragging that deer off the field, beating the mosquitoes off me because the mosquitoes were unreal up there this year. And I look up, and a freaking super heavy wide passes year's 8-point was up on the hill, 120 yards, looking at me eating, and I was like, "Oh my god!" You know what I mean? Like it would have been like 220 and been right at dark, but I'm like, maybe I held him up or something, but it was funny. But I packed it out by myself. That was a journey. I have a cheap pack that not gonna ever use again. I'll definitely have a good pack frame before next year because I had
Did you quarter him?
yeah, did the gutless method, quartered him out, and dude, I brought his head home. Like I caped him out. I was gonna do one of those pack mounts on him, right? Well, I was worn out. I bought these new meat bags off Amazon because it was a great deal. Waterproof, right? So I put the cape in there. Yeah, they're not waterproof. The water might not hurt him when it gets on it and soaks through it, but by God, the water gets on it and it's supposed to stop it. That's what waterproof means. But no, it went right through and got on my cape. And I get home and it's just, it already, the hair slippage slipped in because I got home late. I got home at like, excuse me, I think like 1 a.m. So I went straight to bed. I was worn out. And next day I wake up, cut them all up. He had to debone them there. So I did that too. But cut them all up, grab the cape, and I'm like, what the heck? Why is it full of water? And that's the only bag that had water in it. Just ruined my cape. So pretty mad. I carried his whole head out and then, caped him out the truck and did everything to get home. And then I'm like, man.
Mhm.
So, but no, great trip. What I said earlier is you said next year you can probably go. I might go back and do archery. I feel very confident in that spot. And talking to Nick with Unbound, talk to him weekly. Great guy. If you guys, I'm gonna call him out on the strings. If you guys need good strings, go somewhere. Call him Unbound, but archery. But talking to him this week and like seeing how places turn, talking to John, he was like, dude, we weren't seeing bucks. Start piling in, and I want to witness if I'm seeing that many deer. I want to witness what like a good rut would be there. Like, so I bet you just like, just watch. You're like, what was that? Boom, get back in the timber. Not different than I was. Get up in a tree. Just,
Mhm.
but I, when we were in Western and it was open, it'd be fun. Don't get me wrong. But I like to capitalize on my opportunities when I go out of state because of the price. But that place, I'd like to go early, and I'd like to go, and if I get a good one, good. But not if you don't sweat it. Go back mid-season, see what the rut's like there. If go back, be like, oh, I'm gonna go for the weekend, and if it's not good, come home after the weekend. Or if it's smoking on fire, hey, I work remote. I'm gonna work up here for, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think I found the units I want to try to bow hunt. And then if you don't get it done, go back in late season when they're back on the ag fields, because that place I hunted, there was a 180-inch set of sheds found on one of those fields. So it's like, all right, obviously big deer make it out here.
Yeah.
So potentially come back during rifle, or during late season and have your opportunity. So yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I might change it up. I honestly don't suspect a draw next year with drawing 2 years in a row, but who knows? So that was Kansas. If you guys haven't been out of state hunting whitetails, go do it. It tests you. Don't do it when your wife's pregnant because that really tests you. Like it's it's way different when you leave for the first time and you're like, I'm 5 hours away. What if something happens? So,
Mhm.
but I do recommend if you guys haven't been out of state for whitetail, go somewhere. There's so many out of over the state tags now. Just go try it. It's I don't know. It's taught me a lot more about deer than anything. I shouldn't say anything. Obviously know the deer here, but it's taught me more than I expected on deer that I thought I knew, if that makes sense. So especially when you're like, that looks good, and you sit there and you don't see anything, you're like, if that was at home, I would see 40 deer. And
Yeah.
then you're like, that place is nothing but tall grass. And you go by and 10 deer walk out the tall grass, and you're like, I'm gonna hunt there. So, but yeah, that was Kansas. I know you got rifle tags up there. Before we jump in that, tell us how New Mexico went.
It went good. I'll tell you, everyone, it's funny. So we go up there and first thing we kind of do once we get to a place other than, doing the e-scouting and stuff is we see someone, we just gently ask them a question like, hey, see any deer around? Just check their temperature, you know, just see a local, like maybe like, yeah, there's a lot of deer around here. And then we're like excited. And then,
Yeah,
of course, everyone we talk to is like, deer, what are you talking about?
there's none here.
It's I'm not kidding. We talked to a few locals who are like, there's not many deer here. They're like, a lot of pronghorn, a lot of elk, a lot of everything else. I said, man, you're looking for deer? And they just were like, we're like, oh, great. This is fantastic. But Dad and I found deer. That first day, we went to a place that we call it Smiling Rock because Dad found a rock that looked like it had a smiley face on it.
Yeah.
We hiked in like 2 miles, 3 miles up into this canyon system, and it's dry. So you can imagine, like, big open desert, and then you run into, and there's just random canyons, like box canyons with like thick stuff in it, and that's where the deer are. We found deer sign here. We were really excited when we went, and I'll probably end up posting little clips of kind of what I'm talking about, just so people can see it. And I've got videos of deer and stuff out there. But this first place we went to, we did not see deer. We saw elk. Boy, did we see elk! It's like that's a gut punch. As soon as we got there, we walk out of the truck and I look up on the side of that mountain. There's a spike bull with a cow. Oh, there's elk here. And so we hike up in there. And so a lot of this stuff is state of New Mexico stuff that we were hunting the first couple of days. And that's a lot like walk-in hunting in Kansas.
Okay.
It's walk-in, foot travel only, except for established areas you can drive. And not a lot of them have that. I mean, you literally park and walk in anywhere.
Oh.
This place was, you could, if you walked it right, you could walk about 5 miles into it.
Wow.
Where we walked in, we could see most of it. Tanner Rust is always a big proponent of, well, if you could see it while you walking through it, save your legs for when you really need them. So we got to a place where we could see a bunch of it, and we saw elk, we saw pronghorn, we saw giant tarantula hawks. That's the state insect, by the way. Huh. Huge hornets. Huge.
Really?
Oh my gosh. They're like a top 5 sting in the world.
Huh.
For how much it hurts. Yeah. So that's a state insect, and let me tell you something, they're everywhere.
Huh.
They're everywhere up in those in the high desert. Anyway, that first day, we didn't see anything but elk and pronghorn, which is still fun, but that's not what we're looking for. We hike on out of there, and we're like, oh, okay. So we drive kind of back. So another kind of funny thing about it, we stayed in Roy, New Mexico. I'll just tell you. If you've ever been to Roy, New Mexico, you realize there's nothing in Roy, New Mexico. There is a mercantile that's open maybe 3 or 4 days, and they serve pizza. They play like 6-man football because we drove by and saw them one night. They don't have any grocery stores, so we have to drive to Springer to get groceries, and we stayed in a little motel. I mean, little motel. And this old guy was sitting there. This old guy was hunting pronghorn, and he'd always be like, "I see any deer? Because I sure didn't." Every day. We're like, "Thanks, man." Like, you've been seeing pronghorn? We're like, "Yeah, everywhere. Have you not seen pronghorn?" Like, we're like telling this guy where to go. We're like, "How have you not been on a pronghorn yet?" Like, they're everywhere out here. And we found them on public, private, everywhere. It didn't matter. We found pronghorn. We were going to try to go back there, pronghorn night. That's how many pronghorn we found. That's kind of how that first kind of part of that trip went. So that first day, and then that night, we're driving back, and of course, Dad, there was like a 200-acre piece. You're thinking hunting out west. You're not thinking 200-acre piece.
Yeah.
There's this 200-acre piece that cuts down the middle of this canyon, and you get one side of it in kind of the plateau. That's like, well, let's just walk in here. We don't have much time. I kid you not, Taylor. We take 4 steps. I throw my binoculars up, and there's 4 deer. I'm like, what? And so we sit down, and Dad's like looking at me like just giving me heck because he picked the place with the deer on it. And the first place we went to was mine. There were deer sign. We just didn't see any deer. And so we get to seeing deer, and we thought we saw a buck in the bottom, and we pretty sure we did, but he never popped back out of the canyon.
Yeah.
And so they go over the hill, and we're like, dang, we found some deer here. We're going to come back here in the morning because obviously it's overlooked.
Yeah.
I mean, there's deer. You just literally take 5 steps, you look over the canyon, there's freaking deer there. Like, it's overlooked. So we're like, we're coming back here. We didn't see a deer, but we saw maybe 150 elk. Like three hammers.
Yeah.
Hammers for bulls. 3 of them. Just ginormous. 300, all 3 of them are 300 plus. Like, I don't know. Like a storybook.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow. Didn't see any that morning. That was the last time we didn't see deer one other evening, but the rest of the time we saw deer. So then the next morning, I'm trying to think where we went. So that morning we went there. That evening we went to the grasslands.
Yeah, I was about to say I knew you went to the grassland at some point second day.
We went to the grasslands. We didn't go that morning because we went that evening. I'm trying to think where we went that morning. Well, at some point we just walked into the grasslands. We walked like 3 or 4 miles, and Dad was like, because it L's. So he's talking a big game. I'm just going to cut across this guy's property. He's not going to say nothing. I'm like, shut up. And so he's just giving me a hard time, but it kind of L's. So you walk like a mile straight, and you have to walk like a mile and a half back east to get into this canyon that we were hunting. And there's deer tracks. We're finding deer sign. And we go in there and we don't see a deer. This was the last time we didn't see deer. So we hike back out and we're driving out and we see a hammer cross the road. He crosses the road, like running up the canyon we just hunted. And it's I'll tell you what about these deer. There's not a ton of them, but where they are, they're there.
Yeah.
You know, and what we kind of figured out was any place with a little bit of brush, a little bit of cover, they were there. Canyons with a little bit of juniper, they're there. And what we found out later, we should have been in a totally different area because the place we were at, there just wasn't a ton of deer. They're there, and it was very doable. It's just going to be really tough. Most of the deer weren't moving until like late, and they were moving really early and just laying down. Because all the deer we saw was either really late or really early, except for that last day and the night before. So then we start driving, and we're gonna go back to over there by the Panhandle, going back to another place on the Oklahoma New Mexico border. So we start going. Truck starts overheating. We're like, what? Dad's had problems with his diesel. He's like, I'm done with this thing. You know, we drive to Clayton, and we end up driving to Clayton and having to eventually get a new truck in Dalhart, Texas. He went and bought a new truck because he was so tired of it. Anyway.
I don't blame him. I mean, look at mine. I've had it for 4 months and owned it for 4 months and been able to drive it for 12 days. So
I'll say this. So I kind of skipped ahead. That evening we were in Clayton. We hunted the grasslands out there. I found deer. I saw a doe and a fawn, and I'd seen some off in the distance. Dad didn't see any deer, but I was like, man, you know, there's deer out here, and they were in like a sunflower patch, just kind of eating the sunflowers. Like, well, you know, let's keep trying it. So that next morning, we get up and we go hunt, I believe in Clayton again, but we ended up seeing deer, and Dad's like, we got to go get a new truck. So we go get a new truck. That evening, we have to go back to Roy, so we hunted Roy again. I'm trying to think where we hunted that evening because we had to drive back to Roy, get all of our stuff, and we were going to go stay in Clayton.
Yeah.
So we drive back to Roy, hunt, get all of our stuff, and we drive back to Clayton for one more hoorah that morning. And that day before, we were kind of scouting around Clayton. We found a really good area. We were like, man, there's a lot of sign in here. We can overlook this big area. And come to find out, this is the first place Dad wanted to go to. And so he was just talking this big game. He's like, we're going to kill a deer here. And, you know, it's the first place I wanted to go to, this and that. So I'm going to back up one more time. I'm jumping everywhere because I'm trying to remember everything that happened because it was just a crazy trip. We were driving back to Clayton after we went and got in Roy, and we saw another hammer right next to public, but he was going across the road, this piece of public that we were gonna maybe try to peel back and hunt, just wasn't. We were gonna have to get real lucky. He was just a giant fork. Like he forked. I mean,
Yeah.
just huge, giant fork deer. 4 point, 2x2. Just what dreams are made of for like a mule deer that's not 200 inches. Like
Yeah.
that's the mule deer you want to kill.
Yeah.
Because he's just a giant fork. Like, I mean, giant fork. Anyway, we saw him and I freaked out. I was like, Dad, we got to go hunt him. He's like, we go to the hotel and we look at it. We're like, there's no way he's going to be here. If he's there, we'll get extremely lucky that he'll be there. We did see an elk there,
Yeah.
scouting it. But our last hunt, we go and we hunt that area that we liked over by Clayton. And boy, we saw a ton of deer. I mean, a ton of deer. We were all over them. I mean, we probably saw 10 or 11 muleys that morning.
Wow.
All in different spots. Did not find the buck we wanted. We learned a lot
Yeah.
about what those mule deer kind of do in that desert area, kind of what they like to do. They kind of do a lot of the similar stuff that a deer like beaver might do. You know, they kind of acted like that.
Yeah.
Over in the area over by the Panhandle, but it was. I didn't entirely figure out the deer over by Roy, but I did enough. I know where they are. They're just a lot of that stuff out there is meant for like pronghorn hunting. A lot of
Yeah.
that public land. It's just they're just real hard to find deer on that stuff. We did though. We found them. Of course, every place Dad picked, we found deer.
Yeah.
But no, we did not come home with anything, but we ended up learning a lot.
Yeah. That was your first time in New Mexico. I mean, that was you went blind, and so I mean, you guys went in there and found deer. It's better than going in there and not seeing anything.
Man, we were on deer most of the time.
Yeah.
We had 2 hunts where we didn't find deer. But most of the time we were on deer, which was fun.
Which with New Mexico, cool thing about that is, being a legit draw system. I mean, you might be able to go back next year or 2 years, 10 years, but you have a chance to go back. It's not like something you earned 8 points for in Colorado, and you're like,
right.
Well, hopefully in 8 years it's about as good, or if they change
Right.
it, hopefully in 16 years it's about as good as it was. So
Point creep's real. Point creep's real over. But no, New Mexico's fun. This area is fun. You would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think if me, you, and Dad were to go, and we could spread out in that last area we were in, one of us would come away with a buck. I just think we would.
Now, is that rifle?
Muzzleloader.
Muzzleloader, okay.
So those iron sights.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that iron sights up there? Man, that would be a totally game changer for me.
Man, we were on them. Now that last morning, where we had seen deer, we were kind of like, and if a buck pops up over there, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But the deer that we kind of saw, they were just in big canyon systems still.
Yeah.
And that thicker stuff, they were coming up and out of them. We watched them go to bed. They were moving first 30 minutes, last 30 minutes that time of year, and
yeah,
we watched them get up and mosey on across there. A coyote spooked them.
Yeah.
And they ended up laying back down and like right behind it. It's crazy what those grassland deer, even whitetails, how hidden they can get in nothing.
Yeah.
Like they'll just duck underneath the yucca, and you're like, where the heck did they go? So
and then you get close and you're like, wait, which one was it?
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's like Kansas. I mean, the first 30, heck, the first like 20, honestly, and then the last 45 minutes was good. That's why I want to go back. I want to go and literally sit all day. I want to do all day sits. I want to see action. You're not going to get it in that September season, and that's one thing I didn't mention is I did go the week before and I scouted. I literally sat in the truck with my brother-in-law and we drove. I mean, and drove and drove and drove. And I literally pulled up Onyx on the screen on the truck, pinned out all my spots or had my pins already on there and drove to them. If I didn't like it, I'd put like I think like purple meant don't go there, and I kind of had like 3 colors I used. And I found a region of areas that I really liked. But the first spot we looked at that first morning, there was a 6. This beautiful, like what you dream of to go to shoot in Kansas. 3 of them were, north of 150, pushing 160. One of them was a freak. I mean, like something me and you would be like, hey, don't tell anyone about this deer here. It'd be like here, on our trail camera situation. But they were on private, working their way back to public, which was uncut corn. Had 2 like like waterways in the middle. And I went and looked at them, dude. And it would have to be one of those deals. Like if you're gonna hunt that, and like I'm talking about, like I could touch both sides with my arm, like not like an actual. There's some waterways up there that I overlooked a couple hunts and saw deer, and it was real pretty. But like these ones, like you were like, all right, dude, I can see 20 yards this way, 30 yards behind me, and I'm, what I mean, like you're gonna go there going, these bucks might walk through in the next 14 days, and you're gonna hunt there for 14 days. But I went. I walked it out that first day again, or no, I went the day before and walked it out. And I was like, I hunted there. You can see in the video, the little fawn came up to me. There was one little passageway between Milo and the corn on the backside, and the beans were turning, and I did not see a soul on those beans. And that was the difference between a week. Is a week before they were green. I went up there a week later, and they're turning, and it was like the deer were like, eh. But the Milo was at that like where it starts turning brown, and I heard that gets like milky and sweet to them. Like the heads were just shredded. So I was like, man, I'm gonna find them over here, but I couldn't find them. I couldn't find where they're crossing. I walked up to an area, and I was like, boom, I'm hunting here. Tree stand on the private, literally as close as you can get to the public, overlooking. And I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, feeder, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit under this guy. So I left that area. Probably shouldn't have, because I saw those 6 bucks, but I hunted there once, glassed it twice, walked through it after a rain, and I could not find a track of those deer. So I left that. But yeah, that was like same thing. Like the first 30 minutes on average and last were the best. And I definitely want to get away from that. I want to. And I was, I told you this. My whole goal for Kansas is to find an area that I will feel like I could go and get it done with my bow. And I did, and it's not too far from the house. So, so that was September. Trying to remember. Nothing else crazy happened September. October rolls around. I get a picture of Mobley. Didn't know really what he was, and then all of a sudden I got one picture, and was like, boom! All right, that's a deer that no one's gonna get a picture of. Even the pictures he's in the background, he's not getting this. Like he's not getting sent out, because last year had a nothing near. Like I don't want someone to hear this and be like, he had 2 like that, but nothing near what Mobley was. I sent a picture out, and a week later I found him dead. After I was looking for my deer, that I shot, I found him dead, poached off the road. So I was like, man, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not letting anyone know he's here. Matter of fact, any deer that might be a shooter, no one's probably going to know about unless I get it down. So Mobley showed up, hunted him. You were kind of moving around trying to find the deer, your spots. Shoot. How many points did he have? I don't even know.
He's right here. What is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna count the front dagger.
Yeah.
1, 2,
if it's over an inch,
4,
count
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's 12 point.
Shot heck of a 12-point deer muzzleloader. Was it muzzleloader? Yeah, it was muzzleloader.
Yeah, it was muzzler. I shot.
That was the day before, right?
It was raining. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I shot him in white smoke. No idea where he went. I did not find a single drop of blood. Still.
Wow.
I just happened to. I grid searched. I found him fast.
Yeah.
I smoked him. Like I smoked him. All I found was a tuft of hair. So I said, I hit something.
Yeah.
it's something. And I was like, I think he went down this trail because I found his track from when he took off. Because knew where he was standing. I found a tuft hair. I knew he took off from where he did. So I was like, I think he went here. He didn't really do that. You look at the video that we'll post when I get it done. You see him kind of dart by. He went around and then hit the trail. He didn't just hit it.
Yeah.
So there might have been blood to be found. I just didn't find it.
Yeah.
But
just bad conditions for that. I mean, everything is wet. So
yeah.
So he shot him. I think it was the next day. I'm pretty sure that was opening, right?
Was it?
Had to
It
be
might have been.
opening evening.
Huh. Might have
And
been.
then I shoot Mobley that Sunday evening, right? Or was it the weekend? No, it had to be. Because in the video I talked about it. So I talked about him shooting him the second day evening. So yeah, so shot him. I mean, the video is going to be out, so I'll talk about him. I mean, what an incredible deer. I mean, I literally got chills. Like the ending, and why I'm getting chills because Gunnar hasn't seen it yet, but like the ending, like it's almost like I lost a friend. You know what I mean? Like I thought about this deer. I mean, he consumed. I'd wake up on my own 2 a.m, look at my camera to be like, please have a picture of you there. Like, didn't know what he's doing. He's in the background in almost every picture. Got a handful of good pictures. Found him on a trail. And man, it's just like I'm getting chills again over him. But what an incredible like what he did in a year. I mean, dude, that's like your dream. The deer is 125 inches, 130 is pushing it. But 125, he's probably right around that mark, depending on what app he uses to score. But what a, I mean, I green scored him. I've green. It's not official because I'm not official score, and he hasn't had dry time. But 187 total inches, and it's like looking at him in the video, you're like, that deer looks 200 inches, and then you see him in person, you look at angles, and you're like, maybe he's this, maybe he's this, which I talk about the score because that's what people base off the trophy off of. But in the background, 125-inch deer that looked like he was dead last year at one point came in with his head down because he looked like he couldn't even hold it up.
Mm-hmm.
Did everything right, which I'm not going to take all the credit, but feeding him and doing the minerals, pushing it really hard, had to do something to him because he healed up, came back, put on 50+ inches, and is a freak. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and this is a complete joke, and no one take it to heart. But like, people be like, man, we need to shoot all of our deer in the neck and do what you did, and it's like, and I didn't. Let me rephrase that. I didn't shoot him in the neck. One of my neighbors did. If you did it, sorry about losing your trophy. He came over and I took care of him. Like the story's written, but got shot right in the middle of the neck. And when I saw that scar in one of the pictures, I was like, dude, there's not a soul in this world that's going to believe me that this is the same deer until I get him down. And and the scar's there. And Gunner came over when I first looked at the scar, not thinking about it, and boom, there it was, and that was like, dude, this deer went from about dying to the biggest buck I've ever shot. Like holy cow, like why can't our healthy deer every year do half of what he did? We have, don't get me wrong, your 8x8 blew up, but like some of those deer out there, not even there. Let's like look at them. That's what I hate talking about is like that place in particular has been great to me, but it's because I hunt it hard. You know what I mean? Like my other place hasn't been as great. My dad hunts it. I kind of leave it alone for him to get joy out of it. I don't want to. Sometimes I feel like if I go in there shoot a deer, I robbed. And I want my dad to have the next big deer out there. It's his time. He's waited for like 6 years, hasn't pulled the trigger, watched deer. Like I really wanted to get one, so I kind of hunt this one spot pretty hard, and it's like, why can't our deer everywhere put on that? You know what I mean? Like, dude, we have 140-inch deer we watch pass, come back next year, and they're 150, and you're like, dude, what happened? And it's not because we don't like maybe last year I poured out a little bit more stuff and I did that, but that deer, I don't know if it's the injury. Some people say injuries will make him. I mean, definitely the injury made him turn into a freak. Yes, but like I don't know if that did the growth. That's kind of super cool part of the story that I'm like super intrigued about. But yeah, what I mean is I can't say like that's like what I shoot him. I'm like, my season's done. Don't have anything else on camera. And then what? 9 days later, put that put my biggest typical date. So this year, I mean, I can't tell you how blessed I've been this year. Like it's people like, oh, you must be nice. That must be a good feeling. And I'm like, I'm blessed. Like I can't say any other words because like God blessed me huge this year. And have a kid on the way. Shot two of the biggest bucks I've shot. Non-typical. And typical, I don't have a big typical now. Now I've never shot a clean typical, and I want to talk about this deer. 11. So in the picture, you can't tell as much, but 11.25-inch G2s, both sides. All right. I know what he scored. I'm not going to say it yet, but the deer has a 3-inch dagger off the bottom, like your deer and Mowgli has. That's 3 inches off. The G4s were 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. Everything else, dude, was like 1/8 to 3/8 off on every measurement. That's how close and symmetrical that deer is. Like talking tine length. I mean, it's just incredible. Like he is almost a copy and paste. If you would take that 3-inch dagger off, break it off, the only thing that throws him off is his G4s. And it's just mind blowing. Like when I was scoring him, I was like, no way, and I pull it back out again. Holy cow, and it's like you're like, am I measuring right? Yeah, I'm right here where it meets. But yeah, dude, incredible, like symmetric, like one of the prettiest clean tins, minus the one dagger I've ever seen. So crazy year. Probably everyone's gonna have to hear about it because I won't be able to highlight this year for a long time. 300 and this is the cool part. 347 inches killed within 30 yards of each other. I mean, like
we just told everyone the score if they can do math.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Like I said, I hate scores. It takes a lot away from deer. And but like there's people that shoot 8.5-year-olds that score 110. And I'm like, that's a trophy. Like, but since it's 110, some people are like, pfft. And I'm like, nah, that deer walked this planet for 8 years, walked by hunters, especially in these states, Oklahoma, where every 160 has 3 people on it now, if not more. In every nook and cranny. I just found out there's places that I've said, no one hunts there. There's full blown stands there and cameras. I didn't know. So like even the places I was like, man, that place isn't hunted. If a deer walked over there, I don't feel bad. Or I shouldn't say feel bad. I'm not nervous. But now I'm like, what? Those people hunt? And it's like, so yeah, so there's no safe place. But yeah, no, the year's been phenomenal. There's not words that explain like this season for me. Like, last year had a crazy, crazy rough year overall. I talk about this in my story. Transmission went out, caught one of the places I hunt on fire. Like, what I mean? Like, shoot my biggest buck to date. Can't find him. Never comes back. No idea where he is. I don't know if he just turned into dust in this world, or maybe I'm the dude that someone's like, some moron shot him and hit him high and he survived. And look what he did this year. He's my biggest buck to date, Hope that's the case. I hope someone posts him and I'm like, that's Spud, but I don't know where he is. So what else? I mean, I feel like there's just a bunch of crap that happened last year that I was just like, dude, I'm done. I want to crawl in a hole, bury myself. Oh, my bow blew up. My helium finally blew up on me. So this year came back with a beautiful lift. Excuse me. But came back with a beautiful lift. We shot a lot more this year, so confidence was the highest it's ever been. I do want to tell this on Mobley that I didn't really talk about it in the video. So that day there was a wind shift, all right, and I was really tied up. I need to go help my dad that morning after I hunted. So I didn't pay attention to the wind shift. Last time I checked, it was supposed to come in after dark. All right, the little cold front, it's knocking down 5 degrees. Not a cold front, but we'll call it what the weatherman said. The cold front was pushing through and the wind was changing. Well, I guess it got here a little faster than it was supposed to, and the wind changed. Well, luckily the days before that, I hung a new stand that I've never done in this area. And it's just, it's not too far from my blind, but it just makes sense why it's a good place. And I was actually working with my dad, and my dad even was like, "That wind change?" And I just told him what I was going to do that night, and I was like, "Holy cow, it did!" So we hurried up and got what I need help him done, and I got out of there because I need to go pick up my camera arm out of my blind before I hunted. So I ran in there, picked it up, ran to town, got some lunch. So what? I got there, maybe got in there 11:30 noon, let's say 1 at the latest. Got in there 1 at the latest, picked it up, bunch of scrapes, and the bucks were working the scrapes that time of year like crazy. I mean, they were everywhere. So I went in there and sprayed, or I got the new, tried the new, was it Black Widow? Butter gel or butter lick or something like that, and it was like it's their gland from their head. And I was putting that on the limbs, and then sprinkling that code blue like gravedigger dust in the
So we
spray.
got that, this year,
Yeah, which I'm not sure that's not just collected goat pee because that thing is potent.
Yeah, it is.
It smells like a dang billy goat. Anyways, it works. So I went and got that. So anyway, so I had that in my bag, and I was like, all right, when I go in there, I'm gonna spread some of this stuff because the last time I spread it, he was there like within minutes. Or no, I shouldn't say minutes. He was there within like 45 minutes on this new scrape. And I was like, I'm just gonna spread it. If he comes in here tonight, maybe he'll be like, oh, I'm gonna find this buck and whip his tail and keep him out of here. Because I wasn't seeing nothing because he was doing that. I'm certain because once he was down, I had a wave of bucks show back up. Oh, excuse me, that were gone for a little bit. So that's kind of what my theory is. He's beating them up. I spread that stuff and get out of there, go town, go eat, do my little have to backtrack this new way in so my wind won't hurt anything. Get in. I'm literally crawling up the ladder, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a spike out here, and it's a spike that I'm almost certain I could walk out and pet this deer. I mean, he's always there. As a matter of fact, when I shot that other deer, that 10, I left my coffee in my blind and walked back in there to get it. And that deer was 20 yards from my blind. Watch me get in, get my freaking coffee, and walk away. So anyways, he was in there, and I was like, man, I better hurry. It's just him, but whatever. And I get up there, the wind just dies. I mean, like I could have probably dropped a feather and it would have went straight down. And I was like, okay, all right, well, I need to be quiet. Get my arm set up, bring up my bow, bring up my muzzleloader. With this setup, the deer either going to come out at 20 to 30 or they're going to be 105. And I get set up and I'm like, all right, I think everything's good. Let's do my interview. In the video, you can see it. I'm like, hey, and you see my eyes look up and I'm like, well, there he is. He's walking down the dang trail with his head up in the air. I think he smelt that stuff. I think the scent went over the hill to where he was. And I think he was just like, dude, I got to go in there and get that buck out of there. And he came in. But what was I going to say? There's something so in the video, you watch him. All right. And if you watched it, rewatch this part. Go in where he walks in. He starts working those scrapes. All right. Like comfortable. And I swear on my life, that deer picked up my scent from my shoes, which I spray down like I only wear those shoes in there, and some people have already commented that I was wearing tennis shoes, but those things are quiet. They're leather, they're waterproof, they're like hiking shoes. I love them. Like, I can walk so quiet with those. So I was wearing those that time of year. I swear when he got over there, somehow he smelt my scent because he turned into this deer that was all loose, making scrapes, like I'm the man of the woods, And he just was like, I don't like this. Deuces. And he was just looking around, checking everything out. That spike came out on the field, and then he was just gonna walk right back the trail he just came down and leave. So, I think that's crazy that for 4 or 5 hours, which it was wet, it kinda makes sense, like wet ground makes your scent stronger and holds it longer. But, it's just crazy that a deer picked up on that, and he was so smart. He was like, "Nah, dude, this ain't right." And I was just lucky enough to be there. And, so I did have to shoot him with my muzzleloader. Kinda let down, wanted to tag out with my bow, but really not a letdown because my theory is I'd rather him be on my wall than someone that marches out there or hits him with a truck or, you know what I mean? Like someone that just showed up to hunt their family's land for the first time all year. There's nothing's wrong against that. If you get out and hunt, great. But, like, the people that put in the time, like, that they understand what I'm talking about. And, so I had to shoot him with my muzzleloader, 106 yards, but I was not gonna let him leave my sight because I was like, "Man, this deer limited." I think I got 1 or 2 daytime pictures before, and it was that deer is so smart. I mean, you could tell in the pictures, like, there was times that there would just be a nose and the tip of his rack in a picture, and then nothing else. Like, he was just there checking things out, and if he didn't like something, out. So, super cool story, super cool deer. I already talked about the 10. He was that was a crazy deal. So I was really just going. Gunner was telling me about some rut activity he saw, and I'm like, dude, I haven't seen the rut at all this year. Cold front came in this weekend. Like, I'm just gonna go film stuff. Like, I told my wife, I'm like, I don't have anything on camera. One picture of this deer on a scrape. I don't know if he's around, and um, I go out that morning. I get in there kind of late. Had some deer, and I don't know if it's him. I can't tell you what it was, but um, I could kind of see him on like, when it's still dark outside, but it's like that. It's like the sun is just creeping up, and you can just kind of see like silhouettes. It's
Mhm.
almost like it's gray. It was like that, and I showed up a little late. Overslept my alarm. And, and I had, like 20 minutes before shooting, like, getting there. I usually get there about an hour before, in my blind an hour before. So really late for me, honestly. And, I see them, so I can't get in there. They move in or they kinda run off, not because of me, it was definitely a buck chasing a doe. And I finally get in my blind, and I had, like, 2 minutes to set up before light. And, no wind that morning, same deal. I had to tiptoe in. If you guys hunt around blackjacks, you understand that those leaves hit the ground, and when they hit the ground, they turn into some magic trick where you step on them, and it's like like the, um, like a the old what is it? The bird I can't say it right, that's why I'm not saying it. But like an alarm system for your house, it's like they literally go on steroids on how loud they are. So, like, I'm trying to, like, you know, tiptoe around these leaves, no wind, get in there, and I'm like, "I don't even know if I'm seeing anything this morning." Like, geez. Didn't think I was too loud, but saw that deer. Don't really get fully set up, honestly, and you can tell in the video because I get super surprised. And um, which I haven't even sent the video. I'm telling everything that happened. Oh well, I won't give all the details in. But he comes out 50 yards and is there forever, and I'm like, I shoot that bow out to 70, and I'm great, but still, a live shot at 50, you're still like,
It's tough. I mean, whitetail is tough.
and you're like, dude. In my mind, I fought it all year. It was, remember last year? What happened last year? You screwed up last year. Hey, and in my mind, it's like that devil on my shoulder. And I'm like, screw it. I'm shooting him. And I pull back. Guess what? He comes a little closer. Won't tell the whole story. Boom. Get him on film. Got like 15 minutes, I think, of him. Bunch of grunts, bunch of just cool. when he came in, it was like I saw some does. The same thing. I did my interview. I was waiting for that first light to come up to get my face, so it wouldn't be grainy. And I'm doing the interview, and I'm like, "Hey, a doe just ran out. I'm gonna get on her." And I'm like, "Oh, she's getting chased by a buck. I'm gonna end it here." And I told one of my buddies about that, and he's like, "Everyone's gonna think you're hunting a high fence." I'm like, "Well, if I'm shooting 180-inch deer in a high fence, then I'm doing something wrong." But and that this deer didn't go 100, nowhere near 180. I wasn't saying that, saying Mobley. But anyways, um, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a buck, and it's still kind of dark. That side's shaded. It's on the east side, um, tree line. And then he hits the sun and stands up, and I see that sticking out, and I was like, my bow's not ready. Like you can hear me just trying to get ready in the blind. It's funny. Sounds like a dang kid in a toy box in there. And I get set up, and I mean it was one of those deals. I was like, when I shot him, I was like, I mean, it was the first 30 minutes. Like that was you couldn't have asked for a better story. So super cool. And the day before that was a cool hunt too. That I want to talk about. I had 6 or 7 different bucks, 3 does. One doe had to be close to in heat because there was 3 bucks on her, and this little 8-point. So this is pretty funny. This 8-point comes out, and I'm like, oh, nice little 8-point. He's eating. Then I look up and I see a frame, and he just comes out and he's walking north, and I'm like, huh. 20 minutes past, not really seeing anything, and I'm like, grab my antlers, and I'm like, I mean, maybe 3 or 4 times, dude. And I just see boom, 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 just come running in, and I'm like, oh, and I see the frame, and this deer is pretty. He's a real framey, real pretty. He'll be in the video, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, he's young, but like, and then that 8-point came. They left. They were searching everywhere. Well, then that 8-point circled back, and he actually came and smelt my steps that I just put up. Smelt them. He was that close. I was filming like this. The 9-point came in. I really didn't get a good view on him. He came from left to right, and I literally was looking over my left shoulder because I thought I could hear another deer coming. And I look up, and this 9-point's across the middle of the field, going left from right, and he'd cleared like 200 yards in a matter of seconds and was right in front of me. Never saw him again. Don't know what deer it was. Real pretty deer. I was like, holy cow. I think I got a film like this of him, like going in the timber. I was like, wow. And I was like, he's not a shooter, but next year he's going to. Well, then all of a sudden, here comes another 9-point out of the almost same spot. And I'm like, or the same spot he went to. And I'm like, that ain't the same. Like, these tines are tiny. And then the other 9-point came running out behind him, like 200 yards or 150 yards back. It was like I was watching NASCAR. Like, my head was like, which I guess with NASCAR, you're only looking one way,
Yeah.
But it was crazy. And that 9-point came out, and I was like, man, I'm gonna mess with him. So I did those snort wheeze, with my mouth. He jumped and like what the crap was that? And then he's like, oh, dude, there ain't no way that you just snort wheeze at me, and gets all puffed up, walks right in. Well, during that whole commotion, I took my glove off, and I normally don't wear gloves filming because it's just a nightmare trying to, zoom in on everything. My glove fell off. When that 9-point came running through originally, I knocked my hat off on a limb because it's a new spot and I'm not used to everything there. Knocked my hat off on the limb. It's on the ground. The 9-point comes walking in all puffed up. He gets to my glove and he just like, and then just takes, doesn't like flag or anything, just takes off. And then he stops. He's like looking around. And then he heads back behind me this way. Okay. It wasn't 10 minutes later. I'm like, oh, wow. Another nice buck just dogging a doe on the hillside. Here he comes again. So somehow, I don't know if he made a horseshoe loop around. I don't know how he got where he was, but I was like, it was this insane. That doe came in, that 8-point and a spike were all on her. I mean, at one point, that 9-point's like, like, hey, lady, like, it's me, like showing himself off. And that little 8-point from originally that morning comes like running down this road. And that 9-point gets all scared again and like turns to run away. And then he sees it's that 8-point. And that 8-point is like, he didn't see the 9-point at the angle he was on. And he was like, and, just screaming at her. Well, then that 9-point was like, oh, heck no, you're not getting him, because he's a lot smaller. and chases him, and they're in front of me. And then they go out in the field, and like the 9 points pushing the 8 point on. It was this, dude. It was when I went that night. I was like, listen, Lord, if you're listening to me, the only thing I want to see tonight is just some crazy red action. Haven't seen it all year. And that night, I was just like, holy cow. And then, no, I guess it's two. Was it the night? Yeah. I don't know if it's the night before or 2 nights before I shot that 10, because I only hunted like 3 times in those 9 days, and they were all close because I was like, everyone's saying they're on their feet. I want to go see it and then shoot that 10. And now, dude, I will say tagging out has been one of the craziest experiences. Like, I'm like, that's wild. People are like, I don't want to tag out. But it's mid-November, and I'm like, dude, I can't go out. Like, I cannot go see this action right now that everyone's posting about or talking about. I'm like, you're calling me like, yeah, I just saw this buck on this doe, this action, blah, blah, blah. $4 cruising, and then I'm getting another call or Facebook post of just deer doing what they do this time of year. It's weird. I'm just like, well, does anyone want me to video for you? Like, so yeah, it's been a heck of a year. I know talked a lot about it, but I hope in everyone's life that's listening or hunting, I don't care if you're listening to this, I just hope you get to experience like a year that I had, because man, it's a cool feeling, but it's also so. Which you did it, the 8x8 that year you tagged out, which I don't remember. Was that 8 point? Was he late rifle?
Rifle, because Tanner was with me.
Was it late though, or was it early?
I don't remember.
It had to be It had to be like towards the beginning, because he shot that, that wide 10, and then started going with you. So, but yeah, so you kind of know what that feeling I'm talking about is. It's like, well, what do I do now?
November 25th.
Yeah, so
it was like opening weekend almost, because 22nd.
It was like at least the first week.
Mm-hmm.
And you just shut that door and you're like, dude, what do I do now? Like, do I film?
I started going looking for ducks.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I know, that's like, I'm glad I did, because baby's on the way, and I'll be tied up for a while. But it's just weird, people are like, go to another state when you're hot, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't right now. So if you're a hunter, beginning of March into February, lay low, or you'll be having a baby in mid-rut.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I can't complain. Blessed, been healthy. So, ready to see her. About to have a new hunter in the household.
No pool parties.
No pool parties. So, we'll just be another, I think.
Yeah, indoor pool party.
Yeah, I think
Clinton's got one.
Yeah, indoor pool party. We'll have an outdoor hunting party. So we're gonna be having. No, I think like 2/3 of our family combined between me and Justice's family, their birthdays are November, December.
Yeah.
In October. So it's like, well, get ready for another combined birthday, because that's how everyone else is. It's like, we can either meet for everyone's birthday every day they have a birthday, or we can just get together one time, and it's like, let's just do once, because this is unreal. So, but no, crazy year. Plans going forward, don't really have any. I hope, like, I'm here in crunch time. We got 11 days max before baby's here. So maybe, hopefully, get out and do some hunting with my dad, maybe gunner, film. But countdown's here. Pretty much going to see how the baby life is through December. Sneak away and definitely duck hunt. That is not out of the picture. January, my mind's like, late season archery hunt. Let's go do one. And
it's my birthday.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, go do one. Go do an out of state hunt in January. Do a late season hunt.
I'll tell you what you could do in January. I've always wanted to do it. Never got to go do it. So in Arizona, they do a January mule deer bow hunt, and they're supposed to be ready.
Huh? Is that over the counter?
Mm-hmm. So you hit a quota, so you're gonna have to turn in an application. If they have tags, you get one.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But
They usually have tags.
probably won't happen. Probably end up definitely want to kick off and have a really good year on predator hunting side. I've seen more coyotes than I ever have this year. So if you're listening, you're in Oklahoma, listen, we hunt around livestock. I have 30 years of hunting, probably a little less, but I'm just going to say 30. Have never shot a cow, never shot any livestock or someone's dog or someone's cat. Me and Gunnar are great at it. So if you have coyote issue or bobcats or any other predators, let us know. We'll come take care of you. But no, we're looking for that on film. Hopefully we get to do some of our events. We need to plan that. I've had a lot of people ask about that. So I'd like to bring that back. But yeah, we're definitely want to get some more coyote hunting on film, maybe do a couple tournaments. I don't know. I've watched a video that a guy shot 2 coyotes running in and it's 30-30, and I'm like, how hard would that be? Everyone else would have a rifle, but with a scope, but I would haul in my 30-30 and try it. But I think something like that would be fun. And then Ben, we'll have your wedding, and then
April.
fishing. We'll start kicking off fishing.
Turkey hunting.
Turkey hunting. Yeah.
Maybe.
Listen,
We gotta break your
yeah, I was about to say,
fast
listen, God, like we could roll, like, if you're telling me to go hunt Arkansas or Missouri, I'm here to offer. If you can just turn it into turkey hunting in Oklahoma and let me get a turkey,
Yeah.
I will gladly take that as a free offering, because Jesus, it's been hard for me here. But I don't know. Thought about doing fly fishing. I mean, we got a bunch of trips. We go ice fishing, but time and money and off work kind of sucks when you get this age. But that's my plans. I don't know if you have one more tag. Oh, we didn't talk about you're going back to Kansas. You got 3 tags there. Not you, but your group. And then, so yeah, tell us what your season is like from here on out.
Well,
or what your plans, not season.
Well, rest of the year, I am just kind of looking for some swamp donkey, I guess, in Oklahoma. I think I may have found one. I will say this. Dad has gotten extremely excited over this deer. I want one of us to try to harvest him. Big 10-point, prototypical, just bear looking, black bear looking buck. Just kind of wide, gnarly, and, finally kind of down there, the genetics. Seems like our biggest deer down there they always get big, but they'll have like a fork on one side, and so they'll be really big old deer. They just won't, which I don't necessarily care about scores, but you know what I'm going with.
Yeah.
This 10-point seemed to kind of bypass genetic. So he's kind of just one of those, just a big 10-point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And super wide, and just excited to try to hunt him. Dad set up a traditional ground blind to try to go after him.
If he gets out trad, that would be crazy.
If I can get this saddle to come in, I'm going to try to film him in a tree stand taking this deer, possibly. But
that'd be
another deer. We're kind of looking at another place, trying to find him. He's in there somewhere. Try to find him. I really want to harvest deer with my new bow. That'd be numero uno goal. Because that first year I shot was with a muzzleloader.
Yeah.
This year. But Abby got a new bow recently. We're trying to get her on deer. She's excited about rifle season. She hadn't got to hunt a whole lot because she's been trying to get the house in order.
Yeah.
But she's excited to go the rest of the year. She really wants to harvest one with her bow. This new bow is it's quite a bit upgrade than her other bow. From her other bow,
I mean, we saw it in ours.
Man, this.
And hers was a little older, so
yeah. She had some kind of Cabela's Bear $250 special that I got trying to figure out. And she killed a deer with it.
Yeah.
She killed a deer with it. She shot one deer in the shoulder and he like ripped it out with his teeth. So it's like that was when I said, "Yep, we got to upgrade." Because that's, I mean, she shot it well enough that she should have probably killed him. I mean,
Yeah.
angle could have been better, but in all honesty, she should have probably.
Yeah. I
killed
agree
him.
with that.
But so I was like, I just gotta get her better setup. And so I got her a Lift RS, and she was shooting it the other day in front of Dad. And he goes, "Yep, that bo's got a little bit more pop to it than her last one." I'm like, "Yep, yeah, it does."
Yeah.
And you could tell. I mean, she's just bang, bang, blanking them on there, and she's like, "Dad gum." It was funny because she was like, "I don't want to shoot the new bow." So I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Because I don't want to know how bad, like how much different it is, because it's because
Game
bows are
changer.
expensive." But I was like, get the one you want. So we went and got that one, and she loves it. But trying to do that, trying to get her on a deer. Dad doesn't really want to tag out before rifle, but he will with his traditional.
Yeah.
And I will with my bow, if that big 10-pointer, that other deer,
Which heck,
that
you
other
only
place.
by the time this is out, a week will be in rifle or 2.
Yeah, and we're going Saturday morning with Abby's rifle she got from OFO. She won
Yeah.
that drawing. But yeah, other than that, after that, we're going to Kansas. I have to go. I get to go twice because of scheduling conflicts and stuff. I get to take Abby opening weekend, so we're going to miss opening day. But we're going to get to hunt Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come home Sunday. We'll hunt Sunday morning. We will then come home, and I will leave again Wednesday or Tuesday night. And Di and I hunt Wednesday to Sunday to the end of the season in Kansas. And my goal is to get Abby and Dad a deer. I want a deer, of course, but Dad's neither of them. I shot a Kansas deer last year. They've not shot a Kansas deer yet. Really, the one that's going to be tough's Dad. Abby will shoot. She already told me.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going down there to fill my tag. So, all right, tough talk. We're gonna see when that forky comes out. How tough you are. How serious you are about it. So there's that. Dad, it's gonna have to be a nice Kansas buck for him to pull.
Maybe not. Sometimes he gets wild.
He might not being out of state, but I just have a feeling he's gonna be like. I mean, he'll shoot a nice 8-point.
Yeah.
There, but he's not gonna shoot a forky or a 6-point or something. He's not gonna do that. I can heckle him all day. He won't do it. He'll heckle me back, trying to get me to shoot it. But he won't. I'm hoping. I just want to find a nice, heavy Kansas buck for him. That's what I want. Like if we could just. First year I went with him, we found a real nice, heavy 9-point on the other side of the road from Public.
He told me about that.
And that was kind of his eyes lit up. It was a prototypical, just heavy 9, big body Kansas whitetail. And so that's what I want to find. Just it doesn't have to score 150 inches. Just give me some
early mature deer.
Yeah, that's all I want to find for him. And I think we can. I get to go down there twice. So I've added advantage from last year. I'm hoping to go before Abby and I even go. If I tag out, I will be going to scout it more. But I think I've got a good plan and stuff about what we're going to try to do. I really looked for access to like draws that kind of run up into wheat fields.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I really looked at that time of year because it'll be December.
I got a couple pins for you. Don't let me forget to send you.
Okay.
There's one, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. There's one place that looks exceptional until you get there, and it looks as bare as this because they have hundreds of head of cattle on it. It's way over great. Like when you see it on the map, you're like, and I went there and there was like 6 trucks there, one person walking out, and I'm like, and I wasn't seeing that many people. So I was like, well, everyone had the same thought, but so I'll send you that and tell you don't go there. You might want to drive by and look, but
man, the
But
last
other
year,
stuff, beautiful.
last year, our biggest problem, other than it being just Kansas, the way their rifle season lays, that first week is just tough. Just
Yeah,
is what it is. But once it kicks back on, it kicks back on because food is going to become, just
absolutely.
get after it. So that's what we're hoping. I'm hoping that when Dad and I go back, it's going to be, and we're in a different area. We're in the similar, we're in the
Yeah.
kind of the area you were in, and so we're hoping higher deer density, 1, 2.
Well, granted,
Just
I think I mean, my access was like 4 times more. And
really,
I was looking at yours. Yeah, dude, like prime 4 times more. I was looking at so yours go that way, mine was going that way. Yours that goes that way that I didn't get to hunt. There is more on that one than the other one that we shared. And I was just like, dude, that looks like it's solid. So I can't tell you much on that one. It's a little bit more northern I went, but that stuff that I walked through, man, like I was just like, man, this is like if I could get this home and lease it, or if this at least something like that up here, like wow, like it's prime.
hmm
You're gonna your mind's gonna change a little bit more than what we were when we were farther west.
well, I can say this as well. There was there were 2 times Dad and I took off just driving. One was kind of in the evening looking for another spot to go hunt. And one was we walked into a place, a guy parked and cut us off.
Yeah,
And so he was going where we wanted to go, and the place that we were stuck with was probably not going to work.
yeah,
So we got out and it was daylight, and we were like, let's just drive and look at everything we could possibly look at. We didn't see a deer.
yeah,
And we were driving past big draws that run up to wheat fields, and you'd have thought,
yeah,
don't care what time it is, we'd see a doe standing out in the wheat field at 6:30 in the morning. You
yeah.
know what I mean? You'd have thought that, but we didn't. I mean, we drove and drove and drove, and we were looking at canyons and grasslands that run up into wheat. We were looking at big drainages, nothing.
That's
And
a
we were looking at private land.
that's the difference. Like when we were up west, and it was a little earlier than you were. You would see some, but it was like it was always pitch dark. It'd be in the
Yeah.
side drinking out of a water hole or coming out of the corn or and then like when I went to this new area, dude, like it was nothing to see 3 or 4 does at noon when it was 80 degrees
Mm-hmm.
eating just in a hay meadow. And you're like, all right, like this is what I'm used to. And
Yeah.
and like definitely the population. I will say the only thing I'm a little more skeptical and worried for you is that area looks prime bird hunting.
Oh boy, that we ran into that too. I was going to
Well,
bring that
I'm
up.
about to say I wonder farther north if that spot's going to be harder for bird hunting, but it's one of those things like we're learning and like I like how we're going and we always have the same unit, at least one unit that we share. And I like that because it's like I can tell you what I saw here. You can tell me what I saw here, and it's like, all right, is it worth trying it here, or should we do that? You know what I mean? It's really cool to
Mhm.
be like, well, okay, well, I didn't see much here. Maybe I should put in for that one. And it's like it's cool how we just kind of are putting the pieces together and learning. Because you give us a few more years of doing this, we're gonna click something, and we're gonna start bringing home that next level of deer. And I honestly think I found that area,
Yeah.
and you share half of that area I was in. So it's like, and so I don't know. I think give us a couple years. I think one of us will bring one of when you're like, what does Kansas have to offer? And you're like white horned, tall, huge body, and it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's gonna come home with us. So
Yeah, I'm excited because of what you kind of told me about. Just looking at it on aerial, it looks more deer friendly, I guess. I
yeah,
mean, you look at out west where we were at, it was exciting because it was different.
yeah, absolutely.
And we found deer.
Yeah, we
We
got it
both
done. Yep.
and so it's not that we're necessarily complaining. We're more like, just talking through what we saw and whatever.
Yeah, and
So
it's not complaining. It's us working. I think that's what people get confused on. Like when we say this stuff, it's not complaining. It's me and you have, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, like me and you have had blessed deer hunting. Like our age, we've killed deer that people won't ever get to kill. And it's crazy to think about, before I even turned officially 30, I have 180-inch deer in my, under my belt. You have a typical that scored more than mine. And it's like, what's going on, and then a lot of that, people are like, well, it must be. I hate that saying, because if people knew the hours that all of our, everyone that's tied with us puts in to hunt and the money, it's like, it is nice, but this is nice. 8 years ago when I was planting trees to make this place better with my dad, what else is nice, when I had to fix our tractor because it broke down because we were planting our summer so we put a lot of work in, and it's because we love to do it. So we're only trying to, and that's what, like Kansas, like it's a test because we don't get to run cameras up there. So the more times we get to go, more seasons we get to go, that's our intel. We can't go put cameras. We're not going to make that drive this time of year and scout it. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be here. So it's cool it's definitely not complaining. It's dialing in a place because we want to shoot mature deer. It's not that because we're trying to find deer. We found them. We find them. Now it sounds cocky. We find them everywhere we go. It just luck, maybe good, maybe whatever it is, it's working. It's just, we're trying to find that, it's like if we go to Arkansas, what are you going to think about? Small body, real wide. That's what Missouri, what do I think about there? Well, are you in the hillside or are you in the ag side? Hillside, smaller body, right at the ear, 115, 128 point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's how we think. It's like, we want to kill that. We want to be able to go somewhere and harvest that caliber of deer, not here. But here, we're going to have to kill 3 to 5 of these before we get here, because those are going to come out before here, but we'll find it. Like, we'll find it. I guarantee it. So that's what out of state hunting like Kansas will teach you. And it's like, yeah, we could go get a lease. I mean, don't get me wrong. We could definitely go get a lease. Like, we could find one if we wanted one and kill big deer. Is it tempting? Absolutely. I'm still like, should I just do that? But then I'm like, man, I almost have it. This year I'm like, I could have killed a 140-inch deer if I just had a few more days and could have really dialed in. So I think that's what makes us excited about Kansas when we say this stuff. It's not that place sucked. None of it sucked. Western Kansas, tough. This place I was in, tough if you didn't know where the deer were in, but there was numbers. So it's like, it was easier to find deer, not size. So, and I found some size, but when you get there, you're like, okay, let me go blind for a year, and you ask me to paint you a picture of what prime hunting land looks like that I know and seen and hunted. And I'm going to paint you a picture, and you're going to take that picture and walk right out to where you drew and be like, looks identical. You know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful, dude. Like, when you watch videos, like there's videos of Chris B. I watch hunting Kansas because he goes there a lot. I'm trying to think of all the other people I watch, but I can't. My mind is going blank on me. But like Midwest Whitetails, all these groups that hunt up there that have either hunt public, which Chris B. hunts a lot of, or have leases. This stuff looks like it, and you're like, wow. You know what I mean? It's like, you can see that in Oklahoma on public. We do have good land, but you're going to have to work. Up there, it's like just the state gets more access for you, and it's pretty incredible. So that's what, I don't know. That's my spill. I've heard, and I think that boils down to, I've had a heck of a season, and I've heard people come at me already on that stuff, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, you just shot 110-inch 3.5-year-old. Here's a video of 4 days of me watching 5 of those. Like, that's the difference. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice deer and not get one to get to that next level. And then you're going to be like, well, it must be nice. Well, it's not, because last year, last year I passed 8 deer and they all got shot by the neighbors. And it's like, it's not really nice. It sucks, but that's where I am in my life. I want that caliber of deer. I want that 187 inch. I want a deer when I shoot it. Someone's like, "That's a deer of a lifetime," and I'm like, "Just give me till next year." I'm not going to top 187 next year unless I get, and that's gross. Official, I don't know what it'll be. I don't non-typical.
Are you going to take him to the backwoods? Because he'll be what, 110?
Nah, I'm not going to score. I've learned too much from that trash on scoring. If he's not a record, then you might as well just find a. I'm not going to say it on here, but anyways, find somewhere else to go. Not dishing everyone there. There's some people that take it serious, but I've seen the people that don't take it serious. And it's like everything else, the bad apple ruins it for everyone. That's exactly what happened. And so it's like, I just want to see as gross, non-typical gross. I want to see typical gross, how symmetrical they are. And I did see his official, and I'm like, okay, I called him that. I was an inch off from when I said this deer, when I literally in my video, I don't know, I might cut it out. I don't know. But I held him up, and I'm like, wow, this deer is going to go this. And I said, give or take 5 inches. Me and Nick talked about him in a picture when I sent it to him, and he said, that deer probably going to go here, give or take 5 inches. Literally, we were both spot on. And it's like, wow, that's awesome. It's pretty difficult, but that's just, I don't know. I know we've got on a bunch of soapboxes about the negative. It gets me so mad. So mad. That's what I just saw this comment the other day. Someone was like, shot my first buck, and someone was like, why didn't you let it walk? I'm like, did you not read his comment, dude? It's his first buck ever with a bow. Like, can you not just say, hey, congratulations? It's like the call I got. Hey, why'd you shoot that second buck? Because he's a borderline Boone and Crockett, non-typical. My biggest buck to date. It's like, why does it matter? Once he's down, it doesn't matter. Anyways, that's my soapbox. I didn't think I was going to get one on this episode, but there it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, that's our season goals, season plans. Season's gone phenomenal. If I could back this up next year, then I got something working. But we all know how this goes. Next year, we'll see what I mean. It's like, what do you do after you have a great year? See if you can have another one. I might really, and I talk about this every year. I might try to get my first mature deer off public in Oklahoma. Picked up a permission piece with my neighbor. I haven't hunted it once myself. I've gone with him multiple times and filmed. So that place lacks nutrition bad. So I'm ready to see what a year does of some of the stuff I've been doing on a place that's completely raw. We have a couple 6.5-year-olds that are 110, 115. Like, nutrition is not there. We have one buck that showed up, has some mass, but that's what, Rhett does this time of year. He's going to come in there, beat them all up, breed the does. Probably never see him again. So I'm ready to see what that does. But I might try to get my first big public deer in Oklahoma next year. I might solely focus, see where I'm at in that point. Have a couple really good deer this year that if they make it, might blow up next year. They might need another year. Don't know. And then, yeah, we're going to hunt. I hope I get to film a little bit. We're definitely going to go waste some steel shot. Don't know if we're going to kill anything because last time we went out and duck hunted, it didn't look great. But we're definitely going to shoot steel shot at some birds.
Hey, we did have one good hunt.
No, we did, but we could have tagged out 30 minutes before. That's what I'm saying. Like, we weren't that good at shooting.
We weren't very good.
We're definitely going to go waste some steel shot on some ducks. And let's see how life goes. Definitely going to kick the podcast back. So we got that going. Holla there. Hey, you're editing your first video. I'm ready to see it because I know how frustrating it can be. So I'm just ready to see it. I just think, I think something I learned on editing is what to try to get, and I'm still not getting it. So be ready to be frustrated yourself. But I think that's going to be huge. Once we can just start getting all these videos back together. And I think that opens the door of, well, we're caught up. We're going to have to find something else to do. You know what I mean? So that's an exciting fact. We've talked about things for years, and I think we're about to really open the door and have the time to do some of those good ideas. So I'm excited. We having a heck of a year. I've said that a million times, but when you have a year like this as a team, it's pretty special. So that's exciting. Great. We got some great guests, some previous guests that have had a great year themselves coming back on. Some new guests, working with a couple companies. We got some grunt calls. I need to get you yours before season's over. I was going to try to come over to tomorrow and at least drop it somewhere. But I don't know if that's going to work because we can talk about that later. But anyways, yeah, so we got a lot going, dude. I'm excited. I know we've always had a lot going, but here it's really shined. The spotlight's been on, and I'm ready to keep moving. So I know this episode's a little long. It was us talking. Honestly, it's probably us talking to each other more than it was catching up. But this is what we do for the podcast. We get to talk, hang out. I know you guys will enjoy the stories. I know I enjoyed Gunner's stories. I hope he enjoyed mine. Not a lot of, I guess, really not a lot. I mean, I guess there's some beneficial stuff coming from it, but really more storytelling this podcast. We'll amp it up on some of the how to's, what to's, don't do's. We'll do some of that stuff. If you guys, I don't know when this will be posted. I think it is November 19th. So if you're listening to this after rifle, which you probably should in Oklahoma, it probably will be in Oklahoma. I hope you shoot your biggest buck you've ever shot. Wear your orange. Be safe. Other than that, we're back, and we're gonna get rolling again. So I don't even know what episode this is because we've been out so long. But here's the newest episode. I don't know if we're gonna call it season 2. If we do, we're still gonna roll the numbers together because I don't really like starting a new season and then being like, hey, did you see season 2, episode 4? You know what I mean? I'd rather be like, hey, have you guys seen season 2? It's still episode 50. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're back. I'm excited. Whatever episode this is, I'm glad you guys are listening. God bless. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. If it's before Thanksgiving, if it's after Thanksgiving, ham's better than turkey. And pumpkin pie is not as great as pecan pie. So have a great year. We'll see you guys in the next episode or video. Oh, that's one thing. Hold up. Rewind. We're going to try to be posting something every Thursday, whether that be a 4-minute video of this or a podcast, whatever it is. Put it on your notes. Thursdays, Team OD Thursdays. Something's going to be happening. So watch out for that. We're excited. Episode whatever. Godspeed.